Hello, welcome back. So in the last video tutorial, we were only able to push a single item into our database. Okay, so we were able to push only a single to do item into our database. So if you remember, this was what we did. Okay, where we were accepting the first item in the list. Okay, because we were pushing all our to dos into this list. Okay, where's the list here? Okay, and then when we do that, I'm talking about this, like example, buy yam and then buy cassava here. Okay, we push that into the to do info list here. But then when we are submitting to the database, we were only able to do what submit just the first one. Yeah, because our PHP API was not structured in a way to what accept multiple lists. I mean multiple items. Okay, so I've modified the list. I mean the PHP. Sorry, I've modified the PHP code to handle multiple insertion into our database. So you know that we are receiving the to-do infos from the database and then the tax ID. Okay, and then what happened is we in the database here in the PHP. Okay, the to-do infos we will submit it as a string from the Flutter application, and then when we accept it as a string here, okay, we will come and then explode the string into what an array, and then when we get the array, we can look through the array and then create what multiple queries based on the list that we get. Okay, so the multiple queries then we will do what um append or concatenate with the string that we have here, the empty string, and then we will have multiple strings here, and then we can insert multiple items into our database. So this is just the code for the PHP. Okay, so let's go back to the Flutter. So how are you going to do this in Flutter? Here we are accepting what only one item. Okay, we are pushing only one item. This is an array. We can't send an array, okay, to the PHP here. Okay, so what we have to do is to change the array into a string. Okay, but if you look at the code here, okay, we are expecting the string that will be returned to be separated by a comma. Okay, so we can convert this array into a string separated by a comma. Okay, so to do that, we can just remove this here. Okay, so we know that this is the list. Okay, and let's change this to do infos because we know that the PHP endpoint is what to do infos. Okay, yeah, so we change it to do infos and then it will work fine. Okay, so now we have to do infos here. To convert it to a string, we can just use the join. Okay, okay, so what happened is that the join will take every element in the array and then merge them. Okay, merge them into one string. Okay, but then it also accepts a parameter which will specify um, the delimiter to be separate the element in the array. Okay, so let's say if I put in space here, then I mean that join the elements in the array but separate them by what space. Okay, so let's say I'll have something like let's say first, let's say I'll have something like first to do. Let's say this. Okay, let me use the one we have here. We have the buy yam and then buy cassava. Okay, so this will be like buy yam. Okay, and then separated, and then I'll have buy cassava. Okay, so this is how if we do something like this, then this is going to be the return string that we get from the the join. Okay, so if you want to separate it by comma, then we can just put a comma here, and then the final results will be like this. Okay. So now when we pass a data like this to the database, then our PHP code here will now um will now separate everything by the comma by using the explode function, separate everything by the comma, and then we can look through that array. Okay, when they explode, it will turn every element into what? It will push the element into an array, and then we can look through the array and then do that. Okay, So I think this line of code is okay for us, and I think that should solve our problem. So I didn't write a PHP code from scratch because I've already done it. I didn't want it to take much time. Okay, so I have it here, and that is okay. So we have this, and let's just, I think I'll go into my database. Okay, I already tested the code and it was working. So for now, I'll just come here and I will just, yep, empty my code. I'm in my table. I want to empty my table so I don't have anything inside. So I go to tax, there's nothing inside. I go to do, there's nothing inside. So now I've worked on this. Okay. So now when I click on the upper um, check button there, it should push this data into the database. So I'll click on it and it's loading and it's done. Okay. So let me see. Let me check the database. Now when I click on tax, I see the tax here, and then when I come here and I click on it, I see buy yam and then buy cassava. So you can see the tax ID is also 11 here, and everything is working fine. So we can try another addition, and let's see. I can say another tax here, and then I can say this is a description. Okay, and then when I come here, I can say something about not something. Go to work, and then I click enter. It appears there, but it doesn't clear here. Okay, we will fix that later. And then go to the beach, something like this. And then I click, and then now I want to press the check button there. I click on it, and it loads. We don't get any message here. Okay, there is something that we will do. And then when I go to this side and I click on the to do, I can see go to work and then go to the beach, and I have this tax ID 2 to here, which is referring to this tax. Okay, so now everything is working, and you're able to push the multiple items in the list. Okay, so one thing that we can also do is when we are done pushing everything into the database and it's successful here, we just print this thing in the console and we don't see anything here, but we are able to what pop the thing off from the screen. Okay, I mean the loading thing from the screen. So we can also add what a snack bar here. Okay, and then it will show down here that it has been added. Okay, I'm thinking if we should navigate to the home screen. Okay, after it has been done, and then we okay, you let's just add a scaffold widget to this. Okay, sorry, then snack bar here, so we can put a snack bar here. Okay, I think this is the snack bar, and then in the snack bar we can give it I think content, and then we can say um content. I put the text there, and I can say tags added successfully. Tags added successfully. Okay, and then we can choose to yep, okay, tags added successfully here. That's okay. And then I have to show the snack bar, so I can say I think it's supposed to be scaffold dot of contest show snack bar here. Let's put this in a variable. Let's say final my snack bar, snack bar. Okay, and then we can put my snack bar here, and then we can end this one. Okay, so when I save this and I try to run again, I get a serious error which is saying exception Flutter scaffold out of contest. Okay, so this is one problem that we also have to find a way to solve. So one key thing, one way to solve this is to give the scaffold what a key. So it's just like the way we give the form a key. Okay, I can come here and then do this global key, and then I'll say scaffold state. Okay, and then I'll say the scaffold. Okay, the scaffold key, and then I'll put this global here, global key. So when I do this, I can just pass this key, okay, this key to the scaffold widget here like key, and then I can pass this one there. So not semicolon. Now when I do that, I can also come down to where I was trying to show the snack bar. Okay, so here I can now say just a similar thing, but this time I'm using the scaffold key, and then I say current state dot show snack bar. Okay, and then I can say my snack bar, my snack bar. Okay, so I can comment this code and then let's reload the whole thing. I'm reloading the whole application to see. So now it comes, and let's go to this. Okay, let's try to add something again. Then say something. We have to work today, something like this, and then we can just try to submit. Oh, description is required here. The description. Okay, and then we can say done, and then we can push this. Okay, and it said task added successfully. Okay, so now we know that the task is added successfully, and we can do a similar thing here. Okay, using the same snack bar here. Okay, we can copy this and then bring it here. A similar thing here. Okay, and then we can also copy this code here and paste it here instead of printing it into the console. We can just do something like this, and then this time we can say fail to add tax. Okay, failed to add tax. Okay, so now we have these messages there. I will delete this. Okay, so another thing that we can also do here is we have to make sure that we clear this. Okay, and then we also have to we can choose to navigate to the home page, or we can choose to stay here. But then when we stay here, after clicking on this, okay, because we can give the user the option to enter more tasks, so we don't have to navigate to the home page. Okay, so it depends on how you want to design it, but then I think we will decide to stay on this page. Okay, but then what we can do is when we get the message for success, okay, we want to clear this page, this place. We also want to clear these things. Okay, so let's look for the, let me just clear so that I can look for the, so this enter tax title. Okay, so fine, enter tax title. Okay, so we have this test form field. Okay, and we have another test form field for the description, and then we have the other one for the to do. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create test editing controller for the three of them. So test editing controller, um, test editing controller here, and then we can say controller. I will just say task controller, and then I'll say text editing controller here, text editing controller here. Okay, so I'm going to copy and then do this thing multiple times for description and then the to do. So I'll say description controller, description controller, and we can also do the last one for the to do controller. Okay, so this thing, there are multiple ways of doing it, but first I'm going to work on the to do controller here. So I'll copy this. Okay, and then I'll find enter to do title, enter to do it. Yeah, this enter to do here, and then when I come here, I'll set the controller towards the one I copied and I put it there. So I have this controller here. Okay, so with this controller here, now when everything is successful, I can decide to clear this thing. So I think I can do it here, like let's say um to do controller dot text dot let's say dot text, and I can put just empty there, empty string there for now, so that I just clear the whole thing, and then you can see that it's gone. Okay, so I think let's just try and see something if it work. So I'll come here, then say another, and then click on done. It goes there and then it's cleared here. Okay, and then I say before I click on it here, it clears. So you can just put it right here. Okay, or we can also come and put it here. Where is it on the submit when everything is successful? Okay, because we know that yeah, I think we will just leave it there because we all have it in the list, so it doesn't matter. So we can just put it here and then that's okay. Okay, so for the descriptions, and I think description here. Okay, we can also put the text editing controller for the description, do the same thing for them. Okay, so I think you get a concept now. Okay, description, yeah, description is here, and then we can set the controller here, and then we put the controller this one here, and when unsaved and everything is gone into the variable, we can say this the text is equal to now or just empty. Okay, that's okay. And the other one is what? The task controller for the top one here. Task controller is here. Okay. So task controller. Okay, I have this. Yep. I can put it here. And when I put it here, I can just come and do the same thing or similar thing here. And I say text, and I want to put it empty. Okay. I put my yeah. So I think now everything is empty, empty. But how about this one? Okay, how do we clear this one? But wait. For the I think for the task, let's just see what happens. Okay, I'll just go back and forget about the this thing is because when I anytime I press the control save, it just reload this place and it doesn't fetch. Okay, so when I come here, what happened is if I enter, let's say something here. Okay, with what we've done, if I enter something here and then I click on done, and then I come here and say another, okay, description, and then click on done. Okay, here I can also do go to what? Okay, and then when I click on done, it goes and then it clears here, clear the form, and then everything is working. So now when I click on this, it goes and it clears the enter tax title, it clears the description, but it doesn't clear the list that we have there. Okay, so how are you going to do the to do that? Okay, one way to do that is when we come into the on submit here. Okay, on submit here we have I think a better way is to do it when is successful. Okay, So when it's successful, that's if the response is true, okay, and it's successful, we just want to set the to do infos to no to just empty. Okay, we just want to do something like this. Okay, I don't know if it will work the way I'm thinking. So let's just go back again, come back, and then try again. And then let's say we are trying again. Okay, and then we can say something here. And then when I click on this, it goes now. Yep, we got a problem because we forgot to press on the down here. Okay, you see, we're supposed to press on the down, so this thing didn't go into the database. So let's check and see something. What I'm trying to tell you here. So when we go into the tags, we know that try again came. Okay, but something here did not go into the database. So when we click, and it's empty here. So you can see that empty went there. And that's one thing that we also have to check. Okay. So this did not go into the list. So um how are we going to do this? Let me check. We have enter to do here, we have unsubmitted here, and we have here. So okay. So one way we can prevent the person from doing this is to, when we come here, we know that we are saving every form into the variables. Okay, we get this variables title and description. That's okay. We come here, and also we already have validations on this. Okay, and it's working as fine. Let me check and see if I can put validation on this one too. Okay, I think validation or on validate, and I think the text field doesn't have validation. I don't know. On validate, on change, on change. It doesn't really have any thing to change here. Okay. So I think I will just leave it for now, but we can prevent the person to prevent the user from entering sending empty list. Okay. So this is where I think we push everything. Okay, this is where we push everything into the database and all that. So I can just cut this line of code here, and then I'll check if, okay, if the tags, no, if the to do infos dot is empty. Okay, if the to do infos is empty, no, sorry, if it's not empty instead, because we don't want it to be empty. If it's not empty, then we can do this. Else we can print into our database. I mean, we can print in our console that this is empty. Okay, else, let me just put this here and then come here and then say else print the to do is empty. Okay, and I think we can for now we can raise a snack bar here. Let me just put this one here instead of printing it in the console. Okay, and then say put this information there. Okay, copy this one and then put it there. I think we can change this to this. And okay, so one thing is you can also change, I think, the color or background color, and then we can say colors dot red. Yep, red is okay. And then we can also change the text color to white or something. Star. and then test star here, color, and then I can put colors the white. Okay, so I have this here, I have this one to here. I can now put everything here. Okay, now I have these things here, and let's see how it goes. Okay, now let's go back and then try this thing again. Go back, come back here. Another try. Yeah, and then say this is also a description. Okay, so we will just decide to type something here without clicking on the done, and then let's try to push it inside. I can push it, and it said that to do is empty. So it didn't send the data. Okay, so when we check into our database here, go into to dos, you can see we don't have anything there. You can see we don't have the what we entered was another try, and then we can't see it here. Okay, so that's one way to prevent it, but then we lost our data when everything was false. Okay, so when we lost our data, there's one way that we can do it. I mean, bring our data back. Okay, so we can decide to only clear. Let me show you here. You see the test editing controller that we have here. Okay, we can only decide to clear it when it's successful, or we can also decide to clear it. I mean, push it back if it is not successful. So what I'm talking about is we can say where is it here? When if else, then we can say um tax controller dot text, and then we can say let's say title, right? I think it's title. Yeah, title, and then we can also put description controller dot text, and then we can put description. So it actually depends on you on how you want to do this. Okay, so it depends on you how you want to do this. Let me just go back and then show you again, and then when I come here, I put um text here, description here. Okay, and then I'm just going to enter without pressing because I want to see if this thing will return. I click on it, it shows me to do is empty, and I can see the tax here. Okay, so you can do it this way, it will work fine, or you can choose to only clear. Let me come up here and then comment this description, and then task controller here, and then we can only choose to clear when it is successful. Okay, so instead of doing what we did before, we can just come here. If the to do is not empty and everything went inside, then we can put it here and say task controller dot text, and then we can put it to be empty. Okay, so these are other ways you can do this. Okay, that's description controller, yep, and then we can put this yep, empty. Save it, and let's try for the last time again. Okay, I already have something here. I already have this thing here, so I'm going to try again. I try to submit, and then it still stays there. Okay, so you can see that the code is working as the same. So it depends on how you want to just uh manipulate your data and all that. Okay, so now we know that we've been able to submit successfully. So we are going to work on the delete, and we're also going to work on updating our thing in the database. Okay, so we will leave it for here now, and then we'll continue in the next video tutorial. Thank you for watching.